Welcome to Her Cancer, Our Story, a raw and honest podcast about facing stage 4 metastatic breast cancer as a couple. All right, welcome back. Episode 4.
Here we are.
Yeah, I'm Mike,
I'm Kaela.
and this is our story. So, this is our 4th episode, and if you're listening to this, it's been officially launched. Episodes 1, 2, and 3 are out. So, thanks for listening and taking this journey with us.
Yeah, I think the feedback so far has been really positive, and I think it's making us more excited to do it.
Absolutely, for sure. Yeah. So let's start off with just like a short update. I don't think we need to spend the whole episode talking about where we are and everything because really not much has happened, but also kind of a good bit.
Yeah, nothing crazy, but I guess no major news, which is good, but some little wins, which is exciting. And those little wins that I'm now saying everything's a big win. So we're just going to say all of them are big.
Absolutely. So I think where do we leave off? I think since we last recorded, you had like an ultrasound biopsy and an MRI biopsy for your left breast, right?
Correct. So they had found something in the original MRI I had back in January and wanted just to, cover all the bases, make sure everything was good, make sure we had all the answers to all possible questions. So they did a targeted ultrasound. There were two spots that they were looking at. One was no longer visible on the ultrasound, which is good. The other one they could kind of see, but they weren't really sure what was going on. And ultimately said, we're going to send you for an MRI guided biopsy anyway. So let's just not put you through, you know, um, 2 biopsies in 2 different days. So went for the MRI guided one. Again, they did not find the one spot at all. They found the other spot. Did that. That was quite the experience. It wasn't really painful, but just like weird.
Yeah.
And got those results yesterday, and everything's benign. So at least I'm not dealing with a secondary breast cancer on the other side, which
Yeah.
would just, create more issues. So
Yeah. That's very good news. When you texted me, you're like, I got the results. It's benign. And you had like a lot of like happy, or I think you had like the clappy hand emojis.
yeah, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. So, was it like seeing that word on the results benign?
I wasn't really nervous to get the results, or like even for the procedure and everything. But then once I saw that the results were loaded in my portal, my heart started pounding, and it like took me back to the anxiety from all of the other tests and results and things like that. And I was like, I'm not really sure. Like, I feel pretty good about this, but then I got really nervous. So then I'm like, you're scrolling through and you're trying just to find where the answer is, right? Because they like walk you through what some of like the procedure was and whatever. And I'm like, just tell me what it is.
Yeah.
So finally, of course, it's like a jumble of medical words that I don't know all the meaning to. Um, but I don't know, I saw benign, I guess, and unremarkable might have been on there, which is always great too.
Yeah. Yeah. In
So,
this journey, the word unremarkable is pretty remarkable.
yeah, I'll take, benign and unremarkable any day over malignant and any of the other bad words that we've continued to see on most results.
Yeah, definitely. And then today we had another appointment, and this was to see a local oncologist.
Mhm.
Do you want to talk about that and kind of like the reason why we did that?
Yeah, sure. So we've been traveling to one of the major cities in our area, seeing a main team at one of the big hospitals, and they've been great and supportive. But it's an hour and a half drive without traffic, and most of our appointments have been midday, but not all of them will be like that. Or they've been super early in the morning, and I'm waking up at 4:30, and there's just with stage 4, obviously treatment looks very different than if it was an earlier stage cancer. So our mindset once we kind of met with that team, we got a second opinion at a different major hospital. Treatment was going to be that first line gold standard of treatment no matter where we went, and we knew it was going to be guided by the team that we originally were working with. So at her recommendation, specifically with the doctor that we saw today, she said, it might be beneficial to get a local one. Definitely would reduce our travel time for a long time, save us some money that way as well.
Yeah.
And nothing but positive reviews about this specific person. And I was just, I think, I've had some good experiences with doctors. Don't get me wrong, they've all been great, but I've been like wanting this solid connection where I felt just like excited and like those positive vibes from the moment I met them. And I got that with that ortho oncologist that we saw, but obviously I'm not working directly with him very often. Um, and I can't say that I wouldn't have that with the person we were working with at the initial hospital. It's just she gave us the worst news of our lives on the day we met her. So I think that's just is what it is. It's
Yeah.
nothing that she did wrong. Like I think we would be very happy going to her. It's just right now my memory of that moment is not great.
Yeah, no, I think that's very fair, and I agree with that. Um, Nothing at all wrong with that doctor, and she's been very helpful since then
Absolutely.
with like some late night my chart conversations, and she reached out to that ortho late at night
Mhm.
to get the appointment. So she's obviously in your corner, but um, I think just the circumstances, you know, lean towards going this way. And I mean, what was your experience like today with the oncologist?
It was just very positive. I mean, one of the things that on the questionnaire, that you have to fill out before the appointment and everything, this hospital specifically is asking you, like, what's your priority for that appointment? Like, what are you looking for and what matters the most to you? And I specifically put on there, like, I want I think I said, like, supportive, collaborative approach to treatment that will keep me around as long as possible for my two young boys. Just because obviously she hadn't met me yet.
Yeah,
And I wanted her to know what my priorities were. And my priorities are always to be here and be here as long as possible and not worry about the statistics, not worry about the negativity surrounding that, and just also, like, I'm learning a lot and I want answers to my questions, and I don't want to kind of just my thoughts to be shoved to the side for the sake of whatever her knowledge is. So I wanted her that to be very clear when we met with her. And I couldn't have asked for a better first appointment. I think, like, she's all in, and, everything that I had heard about her leading up to this appointment, I think is 100% true, and she felt very personable, very centered around what we want and need, and acknowledging, some things, also has some personal connections to just kinda like what we're going through, in general, not, anything specific like stage 4 or whatever, but I just felt really good, and it was really nice to feel that way.
yeah, I loved her.
Good.
The
I
nurse
could
was
tell.
awesome. Like,
Mhm.
she came in immediately, like very just positive, and like again, our other oncologist had the worst job to do. So
Mhm.
obviously that was different. But yeah, I think this was just going to be nice, and you know, being able to go 15 minutes down the road versus an hour and 30 would be nice. You're
Yeah.
not going to miss a whole day of work just for like to get one injection.
Well,
So
exactly, and I think that's something we really have to consider as well. It's just right now, the standard treatment that I'll be doing is that monthly injection. I'll be doing monthly blood work. I'll be doing scans every 3 months. Obviously, I'll be meeting with the oncologist at least once a month, potentially more depending on what's going on, but why travel an hour and a half down the road for one injection? I
yeah,
just right now, the future might hold more of those long drives and things like that, but let's try to make it as simple as we can
yeah, and
in the
it's
immediate
still
future.
getting the high quality
Absolutely, because
treatment, and
like, she has worked down in that area before, she's worked with the previous oncologist, they collaborate, they will work together with things and decisions when those times come, and if we need to switch where we're being treated, okay, we'll do that, but
yeah,
I think this is, like, the validation I needed that we're making the right choice
yeah,
going with her today.
yeah. I agree. I was very comfortable. Well, that's the update. That's where we are.
Actually, hold on, I do wanna go
Yes.
back to something. Um, I think it's important to discuss. Obviously, it's important for me to like the provider, and that's the priority, right? Like, I
Mhm.
need to feel comfortable with whoever it is that I'm working with. But for me, it's also really important that you, as my husband and like primary support person and caregiver, like also feels comfortable with that. And I think in general, like we feel very similarly about people. And have pretty similar opinions and all of that. So I'm never like worried that I'm gonna really like somebody and you're gonna hate them or anything. but I just want to put that out there that for me, that's a priority, that you also feel comfortable and you feel like you're an important part of this because I mean, you are to me.
Yeah, no, I understand that, and I think we were talking on the way there. And it's like whatever you want to do, obviously, like your opinion is matters here. So, but I see what you're saying because if I really hated one of the doctors and you love them, I think there would be this kind of like friction a little bit, not between us, but with us somehow at
Hmm.
appointments. And I think kind of being on the same team really helps.
And I
But
think like you are going to be like my number one advocate when I struggle to figure out what questions to ask or how I'm feeling about something or maybe forgetting about something or like whatever that might be. So I think it's important that you feel like you can be heard and that your thoughts matter.
yeah,
So there you go. Just want to add that in there.
yeah, thank you. All right. Well, so this can be a little bit of a different episode. We're not going to talk about updates the whole time, because you know what? Like you're not just the lady with cancer.
I know.
So let's
My goodness. It's about time.
right. It sure doesn't. It's felt like that for a very long time, and um,
But we've said like I don't yes, it's important and I want to find the advocacy piece and all of that and it's never going to like be out of my mind. But yes, I am much more than just the lady with cancer.
yeah,
Lady makes me sound old. And I am old because I'm going into menopause at
you
36 years
are.
old.
Yeah, you got a little cranky with me today. I was like, it's the menopause. It's the
Mm,
menopause.
yeah. Okay.
All right. Well, with this change of gears, what do you want to get out of this episode? What do you want people to know about you after this?
Um I think it's really important. Again, I'm probably not going to speak like directly about me in a second, but I think no matter what you're going through in life, like if you're going through something that's really, really difficult and it's taking the primary focus of who you are, I think it's really important for the people around you to remember that that specific thing does not define who you are as a person. And you're still, I've said it before, like I'm not going to be the same person I was before December 7th or January 21st, but all of those pieces of me are still there. And I'm still a mom, I'm still a wife, I'm still a daughter and a granddaughter and a friend and a teacher and, all of those things. And that makes me who I am. And this journey, of course, is going to turn me into the person that I am becoming, but it's so much more than that. And so I think for people who are navigating something like this and like for their support people, it's important to remember that even though they're going through tough times and they feel terrible or they're emotionally just not in a great place to like bring it back to who they really are and to make sure that they support them through that and that their illness or whatever it might be is not taking over like them as a person.
Yeah,
So again, I kind of like strayed away from like what this brings me, but I think I don't want people to look at me and only think, oh, she's the one that has that breast cancer that's never going away.
yeah.
That's just one part.
That's yeah. Hopefully, a small part. All right. Well, I think that's a good reason to do this today. Well, let's kind of talk about something fun, maybe. We kind of
Mhm.
had a fun weekend. We just got out of a fun weekend.
It can be fun
You
sometimes.
are fun a lot of times.
I remember telling sorry, this is kind of connected, but I mean, it is connected, but I remember, I was talking with my best friend, Lisa, when, like, all of this first started and not the stage 4 stuff, but, the stuff in December, and I was, like, kind of apologizing in a way of just, like, "I'm not gonna be the fun friend for a while," and she was like, it's something like, "You're always the fun friend, but it's okay, you don't have to always be right now, and, like, I can take over that role a little bit." And obviously things are different than
Hmm.
we expected them to be. But I think, her and our like, my relationship with her, I think she sees it as often like I'm the one that kinda, like, brings the fun, which that's not always true, she also brings
She
fun.
does. She does.
But it's just something like I think back to that moment, and obviously how life has shifted, but it's remembering that like I can still be my normal self in a lot of these other moments when we're not like sitting in doctors' offices and things like that.
Yeah. There was definitely a time not too long ago where like I didn't know if I was going to have fun again.
I know you
Like
said
I
you're like, "It's hard to laugh." Like,
yeah,
I
like I
feel
didn't know if
weird
I
laughing.
wanted to have fun. I didn't know if it didn't feel right to like laugh at something on TV or a
Mhm,
funny Instagram reel or something. So yeah, it is kind of nice to get farther away from that. But yeah, we got together with some of our college friends this weekend
mhm.
down in North Carolina, and that was a wonderful time.
It was a much needed time. I think we needed it, but I think also just having people, like, see us now and know that we can still be like, this is our new normal, yes, but we can still be
Hmm.
normal in a lot of ways,
Yeah,
I think is good for other people to see that too. And, like, they
yeah,
don't have to treat us with kid gloves, you know?
absolutely. And I think everyone did a really good job with that.
Absolutely.
When we got down there Friday night, I talked to one of my buddies, and he did a very good job of kind of like asking like what do you guys need this
Mhm.
weekend? Like, do you want to talk about it? Do you want to like have a break from it? Is this an escape for you? Like, what do you need?
Yeah.
So I was very very happy that we had that conversation. And I think if you know someone going through something like that, have that conversation. Like, what do you want to talk about when we get together? Like,
Mhm.
because it does help for us to talk about it. Like, we don't want to tiptoe around and pretend like it doesn't exist. But I also don't want to just talk about it constantly, and I don't want people to treat us any differently.
Yeah, I think, obviously cancer in general is kind of like the big scary word in a room of people, especially like our age.
Yeah,
But I have seen like stage 4 breast cancer being kind of referred to as like the elephant in the room. And I kind of like think about it like that a little bit because it's this thing that we have, and then like nobody really knows the right way to do it. And the way we're handling it is not necessarily the way other people would handle it. And I think that's important. You have to know your people. You have to know how, but I don't know. I guess people don't know how you're going to handle something until you're thrown into it. So I
yeah,
think you just have to be comfortable being uncomfortable and having that initial conversation. And I think it's awesome that he did that. And I think it's great that he asked you. And not, I don't think he would come and ask me, but like I think that's important. Like you are such a huge part of this, and it's affecting you in such a big way too. And it's not just affecting me. So I like that he did that.
yeah, yeah. I thought it was really nice. But these were our college friends.
Hmm.
Good old SRU.
Yep, that's our U crew.
Yep, that's Slippery Rock University for those of you who don't know.
Western Pennsylvania, for those of you who really don't know.
Yeah, it's I'm sure a lot of people who don't know us hear that and they have no clue what we're talking about. That's where we met. We met at Slippery Rock University a very long time ago.
Yeah,
And I
2007.
like our story of how we met.
I do too. I don't know how many details we're really gonna give
Right.
tonight.
Oh yeah, yeah. But
We didn't
so
talk about that beforehand, but
no, no, yeah. I mean, we met in college, so um, but I like the part of it because it goes back way before we even met.
yeah.
Um, so I'm 5.5 years older than Kayla.
Yes.
And I when I was a freshman at college, we don't need to talk about how old she would have been at that time.
I would have been young, really
um,
young.
but we just finished our cross country season, and another college nearby had a turkey trot. So we went out. Me and a girl from the team went out and ran it, and we both finished second in the men's and women's division. And one of the prizes was a 20-pound turkey.
What are you gonna do with that when you're in college?
What are you? Yeah, what are you gonna like? If this is Saturday or something before we're leaving to go for
Like
Thanksgiving.
nobody knows what to do with a turkey. Even like as an adult, I don't really know how to do anything with the turkey, so I'm not really sure. Like,
Yeah, we get this 20-pound butterball. And it's like, looking back, it's like, well, we probably should have donated it.
I mean, that would have
But,
been
you know,
nice,
I
but
don't think
then
any
I don't know
18.
that we would have been here
That's true, exactly.
then.
So what we bring these turkeys back to the dorms, and we're talking to a buddy who lived off campus in an apartment, actually on campus in an apartment. And then he was like, let's just have a big team Thanksgiving dinner.
Hmm.
We'll just do it on Tuesday because most people were leaving Wednesday. And that's what we did. I skipped class that whole Tuesday.
Of course you did.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't just that too. There's plenty of classes I've skipped, plenty of days. But
We're
it
not the same people when
no,
it comes to
we
that.
are not. Yeah. And like I didn't do all the cooking, but I was like people were coming in and out, and but I was like just overseeing kind of a lot of the cooking and everything. We had a full spread, like two turkeys,
Hmm.
mashed potatoes, stuffing, all the sides. And then, that night we had like a fancy college dinner. Like,
Describe fancy.
we had nice paper plates probably, or like the good dollar store plastic
The ones
plates.
that don't fall apart when you overload it?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, exactly. And we probably use like real silverware. Um, and then it just turned into a huge party. It
Of
was
course.
a fancy Thanksgiving dinner, and then just Beast Light and Natty Light flowing.
Mhm,
And we were like, this was a great night. So we did it every year, all 5 years that I was in college.
mhm. When I was still a baby.
Yes, I did say 5. I'm not a doctor. I just had a great time. Um, and then, I graduate, and I was like, you know what? Like, I forget what I was doing. I just got back from working at a national park in Texas, Guadalupe Mountain National Park. If you haven't been there, you should go. And so I kind of had like nothing to do that week, and I was like, oh, it's that. Like, a lot of my friends were still there, so I went up for the party, and that's the night I officially met you.
Mhm. Yeah, officially,
Yeah, I
yes.
saw you a couple weeks before. I saw you, and I asked my buddy. I said, "Who is that?" And I said, "I want to make out with her at some point."
Hey, okay. We did not put anything before all this that said we were gonna talk about anything like
I
that,
I
so,
just said I'm going to kiss her.
uh, gosh. Um, yeah, then, then there we go.
Yeah, so it was that tradition that started from me going to a random turkey trot and winning a 20-pound butterball, and here we are,
2007 to what?
26.
2026.
Yeah,
It's a long time.
it is. Yeah, but
We've
that's
come
the
a long way.
yeah. Look how far we've come. And I don't know. That's a go back to your that song that's kind of close to a lot of the Slip Rock crew. But yeah, so that's like the main group that we hung out with this weekend down in North Carolina, and it was really nice. I know, like before we knew everything, you told me at one point you're like, I really want to go this year because the
Mhm,
last couple of years you haven't been able to go because it's been hard to get childcare. So I just went by myself for the because we do
mhm,
this event every year at this weekend. But you're like, we really need to try to make sure
mhm.
we can both go, and I'm definitely glad we did. What was it like for you? Because I know like there was times where like you were with the girls and I was with the guys. How?
Yeah, I mean, I think I wanna talk a little bit about, the friendships anyway. So the girls, like, I think it's important to say that, a lot of us have been in, well, a lot of the guys and stuff were in our wedding, and it's kind of a wide age range. So I'm one of the youngest, and then you're one of the oldest, and then there's a bunch of in the middles. And a lot of us from the team did get married, or people have like come in, from the outside and become really good friends with us. And with that, so obviously we've all kind of stayed in touch through just some of these events that we all go to. But then around COVID, so that would have been 2020, which was almost 6 years ago now, right? Do the math right?
I can't do math.
Okay. Yep. Mhm. Um, so we started the girls, we obviously like had a text thread and things like that, but a bunch of us started doing this video chat thing called, that's not Snapchat. We don't do Snapchat, but we do Marco Polo, which is like sending video messages back and forth. And so some that we talk to regularly aren't on there. But there's 8 of us that regularly Marco Polo. And when I say regularly, I mean like every single day. We have like little lulls here and there, but definitely multiple times a week we are sending like updates or whatever. And at this point, 6 years almost removed from that, like we are probably the closest we've all ever been,
Hmm.
in the girls group. And we do girls weekends at least once a year. Obviously we see each other at like the bigger events and things like that, but we're all over the place scattered, a few hours apart in like Maryland, Virginia, Pennsylvania, like Western PA, Northern PA, North Carolina. Um, but we make a pretty big conscious effort to like keep in touch and everything. So, um, yeah, I just want to like they've been super supportive. I mean, all of our friends have from all different areas of our life, but since we're specifically talking about that Slippery Rock crew, I just want to give them all a little shout out. And so they've obviously been like up to date pretty much on everything we're going through. Um, okay, now I forget what your original question was because I went down a tangent
Just
and
how was the weekend? How was it?
okay. Um, but yeah, so I think it's important to talk about how, they knew a lot of the things that we've been going through. So generally then when we all get together, because we're all up to date since we talk so often, like we don't have to do a lot of those huge long recaps of everybody's lives, which is nice, but it's also like we pick up where we left off all the time. So yes, we there were little pockets of time where we talked about how I'm doing or just in general, like little things, but it was nice to also just feel like we could talk about everyday life and not feel like I was the elephant in the room
Yeah,
as often.
exactly.
And they have been nothing but amazing and supportive and just there for me and have reiterated time and time again that they want to hear the good and the bad. And I mean, I've gone on there and I've cried. I've gone on there and I've been like, I don't even know what I'm doing. Like, I don't even know why I'm on here because I don't want to bring you guys down all the time. And I have nothing but negative things to say. And I can't remember anything you guys talk about because I'm so overloaded with cancer talk. But time and time again, they just reassure me that, they're here no matter what and they want to hear it all. And they kind of want to be like that sounding board. So, that's been great.
Yeah, yeah, we're definitely. I mean, I can't say how lucky we are that we have such a great core group of friends, and feel very supported. It, that weekend they, like a lot of them got together. Like they've all been wanting to help, and we've mentioned this before. Like a lot of people want to help, but they don't know how to help. And
And we don't know what we
yeah,
need right
we
now.
we especially as like things were especially evolving over the last month, trying to figure out what is what. But they were so kind, and they all got together and pulled some money, and they gave us a decent amount
Mhm.
to help with a lot of things. Like it's interesting. Like we have good insurance, and so far it's been so good. But there's just so many like hidden fees with
Mhm.
cancer and all that stuff. Like you know, e- eventually insurance is going to be a pain in the butt. I'm sure it's
Yeah, I'm pushing
something.
back a little bit maybe
Yeah,
or whatever. I mean, and copays do add up. Like,
yeah, the
I have great
copays and
insurance, but still.
yeah, like all the driving we've been doing. A lot of times, like you're out during lunch, so you're getting food and stuff, and
Mhm.
so there's just a lot of weird stuff like that. And I think down the road, obviously, there'll be more expenses as things happen. So it was really appreciated, and I just want to shout out those guys and girls for really stepping up and being there for us.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah,
Everybody's been great.
they really have been. But did you guys talk at all about like cancer stuff down there? Or was it kind of
Um,
a good
yeah,
escape?
like
Yeah,
a little bit. I can't remember like any big specifics. I think just, kind of what this week held and what our next steps were and I'm trying to think if there was anything else major. I think, obviously a lot in the future is like up in the air and unknown and just we don't know what things are going to look like. So some things, surrounding that, but it
at any moment down there, did you have any like negative feelings? Like, did you get sad, or like did any like was it just a good time all around?
it was a great time, but I think I'd be lying if I said there weren't times where I would like kind of take a step back and like watch all around me and just think like like, I wish I could just be completely carefree
Yeah,
100% of this time. There were moments that I was, don't get me wrong, and it was the best, but still, that little nagging thought in the back of my mind is always like cancer and treatment and future side effects. And like, I'm going to be honest, like, how many more of these am I going to enjoy? And how many more times am I going to get to do this? And like, I'm going to get emotional, but um like what is it gonna look like if I'm not here anymore?
yeah,
And so, um, and like what does that do for you? And what does that look like for you? And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go down this path, but
it's where I was asking to go. Yeah,
yeah, it's just there's so many things. And I didn't let myself live in that. And I think we're both doing a really good job of not letting ourselves live in that for too long because we don't want to stay there. And that's something that I've been told from the beginning. Like, you can feel all the feelings and you can be upset and angry and sad and mad, but like, don't let yourself live in that for too long because then you don't want to get stuck. And at first I was like, I don't know how to get out of it. Like, I'm never going to get out of it. And now I think this weekend just showed how much growth I've made so far of just like, I had those thoughts. I didn't break down and cry, but I was able to just like, okay, no, Kayla, you got to move on. Like,
Mhm.
we are not going to waste this time right now worrying about a future that you don't know if and when it's going to come. Um, those specific concerns. So,
Yeah. No, I asked because I had one of those moments for sure. Like we were all kind of having a good time, and I was watching you from the other side of the room, and it's like you were like dancing and laughing and hanging out with the girls, and it's like that's normal. Like what you're doing was so normal, but like also there's something so not normal happening to you, and it's like how can this be happening at the same time? I don't understand.
yeah.
And I kind of had those same thoughts too, like how much longer do we get to do stuff like this? And I agree. You kind of you can experience it, and then you need to get out of it because it was so much more enjoyable when I when I wasn't. And,
I don't know. I
yeah.
was worried about you. Well, I'm sure you.
You
I'm
kept
sure you know.
asking, and
I
like
know, and I hate that because I know you were probably like,
no, I
"Stop
know.
asking
Well,
me."
but no, but like every time like you leave the room real fast, like when your phone buzzes, I'm
Oh,
like, oh
I
my
know.
gosh, what's wrong? Like I'm so scared every time that happens.
I know. Even when I get up, like to get off the couch, I'm like, "I'm fine.
Yeah,
Just give
I
me.
know.
I just need to go to the
So it's
bathroom
okay
or
that
whatever."
it's okay that you were asking me a lot this weekend. But no, and I was okay like 99% of the time. It was just like sometimes I just wanted to be quiet and just like
I
it was
know.
just nice in some ways, like I wasn't upset by any means.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really good. So thanks for everyone who came and obviously the people that hosted. It was a good time.
Yeah. It was the best. A
Yeah,
good memory of like we can still be ourselves and we can still make these fun memories and we can like we need to do that.
absolutely. Yeah. There's one major thing we're missing from the weekend.
I don't know.
Bucky's.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
So
my gosh, those bathrooms.
yeah, so, we don't live in an area that has Buc-ee's or Bookies, whatever, I think it's
People
Buc-ee's.
call them
No,
bookies?
but
What?
Butchies,
Oh,
Boochies. I just said
I
a lot of really weird words there. I think I said butt cheese, it sounded like. I think it's Buc-ee's, but I've heard people say other things. Um, but we don't have them up here, but we were driving through Virginia, and it was, like, the first one there,
You
and
were so excited.
yes, I was, but I was also
Listen,
surprised, and it was like, I don't like I'm not a crazy driver by any
I
means, like,
was just gonna
if
say that.
if, like if we're driving down our, like, road ready to turn into our driveway and
10
there's, like
miles per
and there's a car,
hour.
like, maybe pulling up, like, I'll sit and wait. I did a fairly quick swerve for me to get off the exit and go to
Oh
this
my
Buc-ee's,
gosh.
and I'll tell you
I've
what,
never seen you drive so
it
aggressively
was
in your
so
entire
worth
life.
it. It's so cool.
It was great. I was really skeptical.
Right, because it's a gas station.
That thing is
It's
huge.
it's giant. They have shopping carts.
Yeah, the parking lot in itself is
Yeah.
gigantic. It's like a grocery store.
It is.
And they have multiple entrances, and which, I mean,
Most
Sheetz
gas
does too.
stations do,
I
yeah.
okay, I know, I get stop. But I walk in, I'm still skeptical. I'm like, "This I just don't understand. Like, what is this?" And we walk in, and there's stuff everywhere, and
Oh
I'm
my
like, "I don't
gosh.
even know where to look. I'm so overwhelmed." And then we go to the bathrooms. And
Yep.
yes, I know this is ridiculous, but I'm making it like a bigger deal than it actually is just
I don't
because
think
you
you are.
make
When
fun
you
of me.
walked out of there, I was waiting for you. You were so excited.
Because they were clean, and
Yeah.
they weren't disgusting, and the system with the lights and, like, the vacant and like, the green and the
Yeah.
red, great. You're not feeling like you're in somebody else's space, especially with, like, washing your hands and stuff, like,
Yeah. Because all the
it's just
stalls were
so
separate
nice.
rooms.
Yes, it's great.
Yeah.
Every store and bathroom should model it after Buc-ee's.
Absolutely. And then the food was good. We got everyone talks about the jerky. We got the jerky.
The
It was
jerky was
jerky.
great to me,
It was good. It was
and
jerky.
I'm not supposed to eat jerky
Yeah. Yeah.
because of the processed meat, so
Right. Yeah.
but I'm still you give me a look every time.
I know. I do.
The key lime pie thing was okay.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, it was fine. I wasn't, like, super
I'm
impressed by
still
the food.
regretting that I didn't buy the beaver onesie. It's only
Yeah.
25 bucks, so I
Yeah,
messed
I
up.
know, that was a loss.
Yeah, but yeah, so we actually slept on the way down and then on the way back too.
We did. Yeah, I would go back.
10 out of 10 for sure.
We gotta take the kids,
Absolutely. Oh, they'll love it. We're gonna
and we'll spend too much money there.
spend way too much on crap they don't need. They won't use
True.
12 minutes later.
Story of our lives.
Yeah. Um. So one thing I wanted to kind of talk about a little bit, and I saw this on. So we started. We mentioned that the podcast has been published and released. It's on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. You can find it on YouTube Podcasts, Amazon. think that's all that I can think of right
I
now.
don't know, you're in charge of all the tech
Yeah,
stuff,
I do
so
that stuff, and I'm not a tech person. But you started like an Instagram for the podcast, and you
we
started
did.
following some people and everything, and so I scroll through and look at some of the posts that people put up, and it's really it's kind of scary. Some of them, you just kind of see
Yeah.
the sad side of this and the scary side.
Well, and I
Um,
think you haven't been exposed to that as much as I
no, I
have,
haven't been.
so
Yeah, I haven't been going down the social media route, the cancer social media route.
which is probably good for you.
Yeah, it is because I'm too anxious,
Mhm.
but I did. It's been kind of nice, and there's a lot of really good stories out there, and I think we're gonna like eventually like we're joining we're in that community. I think we're gonna start meeting people, and we're going to that one conference.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that in
Yeah,
April.
yeah, in Philly.
For anybody who is possibly listening, I mean, I know we're not reaching too many followers right now, but it's put on by Living Beyond Breast Cancer, and it is specifically for stage 4 metastatic breast cancer um, patients. I don't know. I don't like being referred to as a patient really with this, but I don't really know what else to call it. So, thrivers, that's what I'm going to say,
Yep.
because that's what I am. And I'm looking forward to that experience. I've heard nothing but great things. I think it'll be great for you to go. I think we're going to learn a lot, meet a lot of people. So yeah.
Yeah, that'll be good. But yeah, so I saw someone posted something. I don't know if it was a story or just a regular post, but it was called the Rings of Support. Have
Oh,
you have you heard about that?
I do not think so.
No, and I thought it was very interesting. So it's like your ring 0 or ring 1, I guess,
Okay.
and then like your spouse, like I would be ring 2, and then family is ring 3, friends, it kind of goes out, right?
Yep.
And one of the I think the main concepts of this was the outer rings can't dump to the inner rings
Okay.
as far as like they're supposed like when you're going inward, it's got to be positive.
Yeah.
And then you can dump outward, and everything.
Yeah.
Um, and and I think it makes a lot of sense. And one thing I kind of wanted to ask you about was like those like early days, because as your immediate outer ring, we talked about this a little bit in previous episodes, where like I was definitely dumping in, and
Yeah.
times you felt like you had to support me.
Mhm.
And I kind of wanted to like just circle back to that and talk about it a little bit, because I saw that post and I was reading it. And it's like, wow, this like makes a lot of sense. I kind of felt
Mhm.
bad that like at times like you supported me through all this,
No,
but I also like I don't know, as like your spouse, especially like I guess our situation, like I mean, I don't know, I feel like we're in this so together, but like how to like I don't know. I mean, I guess one thing I want to ask is, did I dump too much in at the beginning?
I think at the beginning we did the best we could with what we knew and with what we were going through, and I think I never at any point, I mean, was there the time that we got home from that
I
diagnosis
know.
and I got a little annoyed with you? Absolutely, of course, but I also understood at the same time in that moment. So, 2 things can be true at the same time. And I I mean, we've talked, like, in general, I am, like, the composed one in stressful situations. I think you would agree.
Certain ones,
You're
yeah.
looking at me like you're not sure.
Certain situations.
Um, but I think I I don't know, I don't even know where I was going with that, but I think, we're just close, so I was able to handle it. Um, and I wanted to help you. Like, I didn't want it to just be like, "No, I have this big thing and you cannot ever break down." Like, I'm not gonna have that attitude. Like, that's not fair to you because we are partners in this. We have children involved in this. So it's yes, of course, like the main medical center focus is on me, but you are part of me in a way. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I just don't ever want this to be the Kayla show, like that's it, because it's not. Like that's
yeah,
just not how our marriage is working.
right.
I mean, I like to be the center of attention. I like you to
Do you?
do things for me,
Mm.
not like outwardly, but like
Okay.
here, I want you. Yeah, I mean, go ahead. Like
Yeah,
if you're gonna offer to go get me ice cream, yes, please go get me ice cream. But um, I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm not doing a great job of explaining this, but
you sound great.
I just to me, it was never all about me. It was about how we were going to get through this together because I knew that I needed you. And also at the same time, I could also be there for you. And I wanted to be there for you because if you are not doing well, none of us are going to be doing well.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's kinda how I felt too, but I like I said, I read it and I kinda was like, "Oh, I wanna circle back because I don't know if was I wrong early on?"
No.
'Cause yeah, like, I agreed with, like, what the concept was, but I also was like, "Well, how is that primary person, like, when it's just you and I, how are they
Hmm.
not supposed to dump in a little bit?" And maybe I wasn't dumping in, but it was just I mean, I was just living in this world that we had to deal with and reacting,
Hmm.
so
Well, and I think that kind of comes in when I had that conversation with you about how, like, there are certain times when I'm doing well, I'm going to need you to find somebody
yeah,
else when
absolutely.
you are not doing well because I can't be living in this fear state, chaos state all the time. Like when I have a good moment, I need to do that. And obviously now, like right now anyway, things are way better 99% of the time than they were at that time. But I needed obviously I want you to talk to me and I want you to be honest with me, but in those really, really vulnerable moments, I might need you to find somebody else.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. But definitely, like, if, like, a 4th ring person's, like, complaining to you about how hard this is, like,
Hmm.
it might not go well, huh?
Uh, I mean, it probably depends on the day.
Right, yeah, yeah.
But
Where
I think it's also I do hear a lot about like in my like the support group that I'm going to. In general, people, multiple people were saying about yeah, like how they were having to like help out other people who were struggling with that person's diagnosis and they're like I'm the one going through it. Like what in the world, why am I supporting having to support you because you can't handle it? And I can see both sides.
yeah, especially, like, with us, like, I mean, my world was crumbling too at the moment, and,
Well yeah, I mean that's
like,
everything, it impacts you, it's our life
yeah,
together.
it's our story.
It is. Look at that.
Alright. Well, so what's next? Like, what's the short term, like, what's I think we have an injection coming up for you to, like
We no,
I
yeah,
know.
I do. I have one next week, towards the end of the week. So that will be that Zoladex, basically shutting down like the continued
Yeah, that's your
menopause.
second
Yeah, so
one.
that's that thing that I have to get every time until maybe at some point we get my ovaries out, but like that is nowhere near on the table anytime soon. So that'll be next week. Tonight I will be taking my very first aromatase inhibitor pill. So that will shut down the estrogen that is produced in the rest of my body. So that will
Alright.
be that daily pill that I take. And then whenever the um, CK4 inhibitor, whatever thing, goes through the specialty pharmacy and gets approved, then I will start taking that.
Yeah. So,
So
things are happening,
they are.
which is
And
good.
my voice is getting
I can
scratchier by the moment. So
yeah,
I just want to say there too, like I'm fine, but I was sick. I mean, I still am a little sick,
yeah,
but that's why I sound kind of weird tonight. I got a cold last week and it still is just hanging on.
yeah. No, you sound great.
Thank you.
Yeah. Alright. Well, I think, I think we did a good job today. Is there
I think
anything else you wanna talk about?
um two things. One, I know that at various points over the last four episodes, I mean, including like today's as the fourth, we maybe have talked about like specific people or specific examples of things that people have done for us. And I just don't want anybody like I'm a little bit of a people pleaser and I never want to hurt people's feelings or never want to make them feel like I don't appreciate them. But I also understand that like I can't go through and say thank you for every single thing or like call out every single story of an amazing thing that somebody has done for me because people have stepped up in so many
So
ways,
many.
family, friends, messages, all the things. And I just wanna make sure that anybody who's listening, who I haven't specifically talked about or referenced, like, we see you and we appreciate you, and please I know everybody's gonna be like, "What, Kayla, get it, stop, like, you're fine." But I that is just who I am, and I don't ever wanna hurt somebody's feelings. Everybody has been amazing and incredible, and just know that we love all of you and are so appreciative, and just you know you have friends and you know you have family and you know you have people who care about you, but Like my mom was right. She said early on in this, like you really find out who um is going to be there, and this is going to be a long journey for us, and already just the people who are stepping up in the ways that they're doing so, it's just I don't know.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
when she said that, it kinda like when people say, like, you find out who your real friends are, like, it kinda has, like, a negative tone to it.
Mhm.
I can say, like, it's been very positive, like, so many of our friends have stepped up and asked to be here, and it's been, like, really good feeling that.
Yeah, and I think probably it kinda comes in a way of, like, as we travel down this road and things maybe settle for a little while things are stable, I could see it coming almost kind of as like a people fade a little bit just because it's not like that go, go, go. Stage 4 is obviously I've seen it referred to as it's not a sprint, it's a marathon, where maybe, like, earlier stages, treatment is more of like a sprint or whatever to try to get through all the different steps, where this is like how long can we draw out, like, every single treatment line as long as possible?
Yeah.
Um, so I think that's something. It's just also goes back to, like, my little thing of, like, just show up and keep showing up, and not that you have to show up every single day or every single week, but just a reminder of, like, being there for your people, and maybe setting those reminders for yourself of, like, checking in once a month or whatever that might be, and that's not just in reference to you and I, but that's reference to anybody who's going through something hard because we're not the only ones who are. So there's that, and then there was something
Well,
else.
our guest is
Our
leaving, so,
dog,
yeah, our dog Riley has
Riley.
been here the whole
I
time
don't
on the
know, she was
couch
so
with us, but
quiet.
I think she's about done. But, yeah, you said you had 2 things.
My gosh, I don't know.
I don't
I
know.
I'm telling you what, I am only on that one injection, and I don't know if menopause makes you forget things, but, like, my brain just doesn't function these days.
Yeah. Hey, you have good excuse.
I don't know. I guess.
Well, I'll kind of start wrapping things up, and if you think of it, chime in. But again, thanks for listening. Thanks for taking this journey with us. Like I said, we're available on like all the major platforms. Like, subscribe, do all that stuff. That's how I guess these things they get pushed out there in the algorithm, and you really want this to be used as something that can help somebody, and it's definitely helping us. Like giving ourselves this hour a week to chat and kind of recap, but. Hopefully, this is providing somebody something, and the biggest thing is like if you're going through something like this, you are definitely not alone.
Mhm.
Um, and we're here for you.
Absolutely. And we love you all.
All right, love you.
I never thought of
That's fine.
what I was gonna say, so I love you too.
All right.